A perfect square is any value, so let's call that a for right now, that when I take a square root of it, I end up with a perfect number out of it, meaning a number with no remainder, an integer of some type. So some of our most common examples of these would be numbers such as 1, 4, 9, 16, because if I take a square root of those, so if we kind of look at what these square roots look like, I'll write this as square root of 1 would give me an answer of 1. The square root of 4 would give me an answer of 2. Square root of 9 returns a 3. Square root of 16 returns a 4. So notice we're getting nice clean answers right here. All of these are perfect. There's no remainder. There's no leftover. It means that 1, 4, 9, 16, and numbers such as that would be perfect squares. So let's look at one more example. So question might look something like this. Is the number, let's say 144, a perfect square? So that might be the question that would look like on a test. Okay, so what we're really looking at is if I take the square root of 144, do I actually get something that's perfect? Do I get an actual number out of this that comes out clean? All right, well, how do we look at that problem worked out? So let's look at 144. We're going to kind of break this down into what we call prime factorization. So I'm going to break this down into all of its smallest numbers. So starting off with the smallest prime, and just to remind you, primes are those numbers that can only be divided by 1 in themselves. So starting off with the smallest number, I'm going to go with a 2. Okay, so 144 divided by 2 gives me 72. Divide that by a 2 gives me 36. Divide that by a 2 gives me 18. Divide that by a 2 gives me a 9. Divide by 2, nope, because that won't work evenly, so let's divide by 3 now. So 9 divided by 3 now returns a 3, and divide that by 3 leaves a 1. So really what we're looking at is the numbers that are down here, and we're looking for pairs. So here's a pair of 2's, so that means we've got 1 that comes out. We've got a pair of 2's, so we get 1 that comes out. And we've got a pair of 3's, so we get a 3 that comes out. So if I multiply those all back together again, my answer comes out to be 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is, or 2 times 3, which is 12. So is 144 a perfect square? Yes, because our answer turns out to be 12. No remainder, nothing left over, a clean answer, and so therefore 144 is a perfect square.